Hi guys, I just thought I'd record a quick video on just a general introduction to the Moodle website that I've created. So this is the homepage that you would come into without logging in. This is the current web address, but it will be updated. Carl in IT is trying to update it for me. So this is just some general information. There's a phone number and an email address, and obviously some branding and some screenshots that are sort of taken from either Google Images or the GPTQ website. Down here is some of the actual courses that I'll show you later. Without logging in, they can't actually access anything. And then some like a footer that has again some more branding, some GPTQ direct links, including my GPTQ, and then some contact links, and then a direct link to the GPTQ Facebook and Twitter pages. So I'll just go up the top here and log in. So it's got my details automatically stored in my computer. So you should have a username and login, hopefully by now. If not, let me know. It automatically goes into a dashboard. It's got you can customize it yourself. The registrars can play around with it. I haven't done too much work and I've been setting up more the actual homepage itself. So to get to the homepage, you would click Site Home. The dashboard for the registrar has actually got their courses, whether they've done the course or not, and they just tick them off themselves. So it's a nice sort of flow for the registrars throughout the exam preparation time. So again, when you log in, you sort of get a smaller version. You can make these things go away if you'd like, and you would come down here, and then I've got all the different courses in the same format as the Excel document and all ordered in the same way. There's a forum at the top the registrars can access and participate in. I've started the first thread. It's just a welcome thread, and they can reply to that, or they can create their own whole topic, and they can make it on whenever they want. So that's just my little introduction thread. There's a blog which I've mucked around with. We can obviously get into that if we want to. So what I'll do is I'll just go in for an example. For example, here I've populated some of these three and maybe the resources of dermatology. But I'll just go into this for example. Again, this is what the registrars would see. I've divided up to MCQ and AKT questions. Again, MCQ specifically for the the ACRM registrars feel like they can do them and know what they're about, and KFP questions, and then some resources. So the resources, if I click on there, will automatically start downloading them in the same. They just open up the Word document. I'm trying to get it so that you can open up the actual Word document within the website, but it just requires some more IT wizardry that I haven't quite figured out yet. There's an announcements page that we can put in bits and pieces. I doubt we'll use it much. So what I'll do is I'll go into here and show you the MCQ AKT questions. Again, this is what it would look like for the registrar. So I've already had play around with it. So if they've never been attempted, it would be all blank here. So continue the last preview. So I'll go back to the first question. So the registrars will be able to read the stem and then choose the question they would like. All these five options all get randomized every time the registrar opens up the question, and then they can sort of jump across. They can flag it, sort of like in the RACGP exam when you want to go back and have a look at it again. And then so again, just a standard MCQ. The third one in this is ones that Danielle created. She created an extended match question where there's a stem for each one, and there's a whole pile of options that they can choose. And then they'll put in there that they've chosen, each attempt. Put an answer in, for each question. Submit all and finish. Submit all and finish. And then they will get their mark, whether they got it right or wrong. And then there's some sort of grouped feedback, which I'll show you how to do, where you can put in the resources and what the correct answer is. So for instance, you got this one wrong, which again I'll just muck around in, it would say yes, you've gotten it wrong. It would then tell you, I need to actually muck around this. I've just sort of realized this is not very clear. This is the first one. Yeah, I'll explain why it looks like this, but essentially that's a little bit of tweaking and I can do it. The resources are all there. So just say we wanted to edit the questions. You would click on MCQ and AKT, and then we'll click on this little cog up here and click Edit Quiz. And then they sort of display like this. So I would, for instance, click on the first question and you get to the stem, just figuring yourself out, get to the stem where you would type in whatever you want. General feedback, which is basically the resources or feedback for any, regardless of whether they get the question right or wrong, it'll always come up. And then you put in your options, and then the options that are incorrect, the grade will be none, and the option that is correct, the grade will be 100%. And you can put it so you can keep adding questions if you like. I'll just show you what the extended match looks like. So again, I'll just edit quiz. Sure, there's a better way to get back to it. I'm still working around with it myself. So this is the extended match question where again I've assigned 4 marks, which are very easily edited. So again, it's just choosing the correct answer. And then this is why I think it might have looked a bit funny when I guess you get the feedback. But essentially, there's all of our questions, and then these are the answers. So the way that you can get more answers and questions, which is what happens in the extended match ROCGP questions, is that you'll just say you have your 4 questions, but you'd have more answers, so it has a bigger drop-down choice. And so I was just sort of mucking around with it. That's why they're all spread out, so I could figure it out. But essentially, there's all these other answers there that the registrars can choose from. So I'll go back here and I'll show you what a KFP question looks like. So I'll preview it. So again, the registrar would read the stem. They get the ability to put in whatever they want. And then next page. This will be the next question. Again, they can put in whatever they want. This has got a picture in it. This is Danielle's question. I think they're all, most of them Danielle's actually. Put in their answer. Finish attempt. And these answers all get linked to the name, so they'll all come in under, Mike Hurley has submitted some answers. These are what the answers are. In an effort to make our life not too difficult, what it will automatically do is come up with the answer. But we actually had the ability to, once the registrars had to go at some of the answers, we can log in and actually assign the marks if we want to. So that may be something that we not do all the time, but we can talk about that. Maybe when we stop writing questions, we can actually give personalized feedback. So again, down the bottom are the answers and the references. I'll show you how you basically create a KFP question. Go in here and click on the little cog, edit quiz. I'll show you all the different options. So these are the KFP questions. And then these are the marks. So you can just click on there and you can edit how many marks are for each one. Say I want to add a new question. So the multiple choice ones are the A through to E. Matching is the extended match, where you get all those lists. So the three that I use: multiple choice, matching, and then essay. I couldn't, short answer, you had to get it exactly right, and it was actually quite difficult to do. So I found essay a lot easier for KFP. The program just seemed to be a lot more forgiving. Click add. And then you sort of put your question name, question text. If you want to put a picture in, you would just click this, click browse repositories, and then you choose a file, and you can just choose it from your own documents or whatever. Save it whatever you want, arm, X-ray, ECG, whatever, and then save image. And what it will do is it will pop up in this text box, and then you can sort of type your text around it. General feedback is where you type in any feedback, whether it's the same for the MCQ, whether they get it right or wrong. If you put it in general feedback, that'll be the feedback that will automatically come up regardless. And then information graders, I haven't actually used that. I don't think we really need to because it's just for us. And then you would click save changes, and it would create that question. I guess that's a reasonable overview. There's calendar and private files. I think you can upload up to about 2 meg. Each file can be about 2 meg. Oh, maximum 8 meg. Overall limit 100 meg each. Again, that's all stored on the GPTQ website, so that might be handy for us, or the registrars can upload whatever they want. And then sort of back to site home. So hopefully that's a sort of brief introduction about, again, they all sort of look the same. So cardiovascular, I've divided up again. The naming convention isn't exactly right. MCQ, KFP, and then resources. I'll show you this. There's the Word document full of the cardiovascular resources that Scott created. And then I've created a wiki just to muck around in, and the registrars can just click edit. And I just put this in before, so I would resources, and they can sort of, again, they can put pictures in here. If they want to, they can link video, and then click save, and then all of a sudden it's there and sort of locked in, and but everyone can edit it just like any other wiki page. The registrars will get grades and competencies as they progress. It's not like sort of like the BMJ where they would log in. There's actually a way, I can't quite remember how I did it, but it's actually quite straightforward where I can, I'll just go back to the home page, where I can put dates on the release of each of these systems. Quite straightforward, and basically I could, put the 1st to the 7th of August, 8th to the 14th of August, and I'll just slowly release week by week, so we don't get overwhelmed by answers, and it also just slows everyone down so they don't race through to the end. I might be able to upload all the resources to a separate file, as Scott has mentioned that some of them want resources earlier, and that shouldn't be a problem. But yeah, it's sort of all automatic. You can create these question banks so we can recycle it whenever we want, as in when we can wipe everyone off and start again. Site administration, where we can see all the users and whether they've logged in or not and actually using it. So I can see sort of browse a list of users. And they're the people that have logged in. So Daniel, I can see Daniel accessed it 4 days ago, and Scott and City are yet to log in just yet. And that's where I can sort of do some like higher level stuff where I can add users, enroll them in different courses. I can see what their grades are. So it's a really powerful website, and a lot of which I haven't actually figured out or had time to figure out. But I've sort of thrown this together that will work quite well as it is, and I think there's even more powerful stuff that I could do just with some more time. But yeah, happy to hear your thoughts. Thanks.